point and purpose of uh of this Highland Hills situation. The point and purpose of this Highland Hills situation has always been number one to be concerned about the community and the people. That's the whole point. The reason why we have been doing what we're doing for the past 11 years. A lot of folks may not understand it as clear, but our quest has been to very much so desires to control the politics of the Highland Hills community, specifically uh, Oak Cliff and parts of Pleasant Grove, be influential as much as we could. And ultimately, the goal is to try to influence the city. And the goal has always been trying to uh, influence on the county level, influence on the state level, and maybe influence nationally. I mean, that's been our goal from the start, really. I mean, that's it. But at the same time, we want to make sure that folks have a decent sort of existence, a better form of existence, uh, you know, decent housing. And that's one thing that, we have been fighting in the community is to make sure that we have decent housing fit for human beings to live in. There are some parts and places here in Highland Hills that even I've been in, particularly in the Greens in 2019, whereas the housing situation wasn't always that great. And what I mean by that is you know, person may have a hole in the wall, person may have insect infestation, a person may have bug or rat or something to that extent. Obviously, this is something that brings to mind health concerns, and so that's something that has always dealt with us. And so, more times than often, when folks see us coming, usually it's from the perspective that we're trying to prevent something from happening, right? Because we've known to be patrolling these particular communities over the years, on and off over the years, and doing these patrols in the community, folks become very familiar with what they think we're about. And very realistically, we're about basically turning this thing upside down. That's really what we are really about, and meaning that we want to give an opportunity and a voice to those who usually don't have a voice. That's why we've been talking to folks in the pinks. We want to make folks political who normally don't be political. That's why we've been talking to folks in the greens. We want to make folks economically in a better position, and that's why we've been having conversations. We're kind of sick and tired of the same folks that's kind of been in the political leadership over the past few years. And what I mean by that is that usually folks get elected, and all of a sudden they'll forget about those folks that helped them get in, or the folks that voted them in, or usually the folks that's apolitical that don't vote. Usually they just see them one time after they knock on the door or put a sign in the yard, and they don't see them no more till it's time to vote again. And I think that's very sad. Whereas we would have liked to desire to make the whole political thing, even the voting thing, even the grassroots organizing the thing, we would much wanted to make it into a movement, more so than anything else. More so than anything else. And this is not strictly just black people. Obviously, here brown people live, and obviously other folk, white folks live here too. And so we want to make sure that everybody's engaged. We understand that we all may not necessarily agree to everything. We understand that. We know that everybody's not going to be in agreement. But at the same time, what I want folks to know is that we have a platform, and with us, particularly being more influential, uh, your voice will be amplified. I want to make sure that we go to everyone and talk to them, at least to get an opinion. We know that they're not going to be down to City Hall as much as we would like for them to be. We know that they're not going to have an opportunity to expose contradictions as much as we like for them to. But at the same time, we want to create that opportunity so that they understand and become more transparent with that process. And that's all we asking for. So that's the reason that we have been as active as we have been over the past few years in that hope and that quest. Now I know some folks out there that obviously would disagree with me politically, and that's perfectly fine. I can stomach you disagreeing with me politically. But what I can't deal with is folks not having the opportunity to have their voice amplified. It seems like certain communities, specific communities, oftentimes their voice is glossed over, or they're not paid attention to, or they're skipped over, or they're marginalized. And we want to be able to stop that. Do me a big favor, like, share, subscribe to my channel. It would do me a greater good if you like, share, subscribe, because I wanted to explain the purpose of what it is we're doing and why we're doing it, uh, and why we exist the way we do, why we've been moving the way we have. And I feel like more so than ranting it out via social media, it's a lot easier sometimes uh, to voice it out and document and save it, and maybe somebody will come behind and put some understanding to this whole perspective that we're trying to live out now and trying to move forward with. But anyway, peace, power, prosperity. Peace, power, prosperity. Like, share, subscribe. Absolutely great.